Hello, hello, and welcome. My name is Josephine, or Jo. I'll be guiding you today. Welcome to our Y6 101 class. We'll be here for about 60 minutes today for a nice vinyasa flow. Vinyasa, we're typically thinking of this type of yoga as connecting your breath to movement. So you'll notice different postures as we navigate and explore through this class. I'll be guiding you through a number of inhales to a certain movement, typically extending your arms or lengthening your spine. And as you exhale, moving into a separate posture. Lots of opportunity for modifications. We have 2 blocks that we'll be using today. Those blocks will have a number of different settings, 3 settings specifically for you to explore. So on that flat setting, number 1, number 2, and then number 3, this tallest setting, all helpful in bringing the earth a little bit closer up to you so you don't have to strain as you, again, navigate and explore through those different postures. You'll notice a good bit of strength building throughout our legs will be incorporated into this class, whether that may be a chair pose, also the option to get a number of strengthening and stretching into your hamstrings. One of the themes for the month includes a journey to splits, and you'll see that in a few different variations, from half splits to standing split, or just a wide-legged or middle split. So definitely a few things to explore. I won't necessarily cue any water breaks, but feel free to take a sip of water when that feels good for you. And if you feel overheated or you want to separate, take a little break, child's pose is always there for you. And then you're free to join us back at whichever posture when you are feeling in a better space. So that'll always be there. But very excited to have you all, and we will go ahead and get started in a reclined position today. Moving to our dynamic warrior sequence, or part of our class. We'll start in downward facing dog. You'll come back to that inverted V that we had described earlier today. Take an inhale as you send your right toes up to the ceiling. Exhale, place your right foot in between your hands. As you lower your left heel down towards your mat to a 45-degree angle, keep your legs just where they are at. Take an inhale as you rise, lift your torso, sweep your arms overhead, palms face towards one another. As you release your shoulders down away from your heels, warrior 1. As you exhale, start to clasp your hands behind your glutes. And on your next inhale, start to draw your shoulders back as you lift your chest and gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale as you lean your torso forward, your chest will lower down towards your inner right thigh, and send your knuckles overhead. Continue to hold here, or you have the option to release your fingertips in airplane arms and extend your fingertips to the back wall. Take an inhale, start to rise and send your arms back overhead. Exhale, pivot over to your right, warrior 2. Shoulders will be stacked just over your hips. Nice big bend into your right knee. As you send your gaze over your middle right finger, take an inhale as you send the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Exhale, right forearm comes down to your right thigh as you reach your left fingertips overhead and towards the mirror in front of you. Option to stay here. You can lower your right palm down to your block on the inside of your foot as you continue to breathe. Inhale and rise. Sweep your left palm to your left leg as you send your right palm overhead and reach towards the back wall. Reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to your mat. Set your block aside. We'll come back to it. And step your right foot back to meet your left. Hips reach up towards the ceiling as you press your ears in between your biceps. Downward facing dog. We'll move over to the other side. Inhale, sweep your left toes up towards the ceiling, three-legged dog. Exhale, left foot in between your hands. Pivot your right heel back down to your mat to your 45-degree angle. Inhale and rise as you send your arms overhead. Crescent lunge. Exhale, clasp your hands behind your glutes. Inhale as you lift your chest and your heart up towards the ceiling. Exhale as you lower your chest down to the inside of your left thigh. Fingertips and knuckles will reach overhead. Start to release that clasp. Inhale and sweep your arms back up to the ceiling. Exhale, pivot over to your left, warrior two. Take an inhale as you send the crown of your head up tall. Exhale, left forearm comes down to your mat or to your block. Reach your right fingertips overhead, extended side angle. We'll stay right here for a full breath. Big inhale through your nose. Stay right here as you exhale. Inhale and rise. Right palm swings to your back leg. Send your left palm to high five that back wall behind you. Reverse warrior. Exhale as you cartwheel your hands down to your mat. Step your left foot back to meet your right, and hips go up to the ceiling, downward facing dog. Now that we've done both sides on each leg, we'll do that again, one breath to one movement. Take an inhale, send your right toes up towards the ceiling. And exhale, right foot in between your hands. Pivot your left heel down, inhale and rise, sweep arms up to the ceiling. Exhale as you pivot open towards our yoga sixth wall. Arms out wide like a T, big bend into your right knee, warrior two. Take an inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, right forearm comes down to your block or to your right thigh. Send your left fingertips overhead. Inhale and rise, sweep your left arm behind you, right palm high fives the back wall, reverse warrior. Exhale as you cartwheel your hands back down to your mat. Step your right foot to the back of your mat and shift your hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep your left toes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, left foot goes in between your hands. Pivot your back heel down, inhale and rise, warrior one. Exhale, clasp your hands long behind you. Inhale as you lift and shine your heart up to the sky. Exhale, lower your torso to the inside of your left thigh, arms sweep overhead, humble warrior. Release your palms, take an inhale and slide your hands back up to the sky. Exhale as you pivot over towards our lobby side, warrior two. Stay right here for your inhale. Exhale, left forearm comes down to your thigh or block. Reach your fingertips overhead into our mirror. Inhale and rise. Start to sweep your left palm to the back wall, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to your mat. Step your left foot back to your right and hips reach up tall, that inverted V, downward facing dog. Inhale, right toes reach up tall. Exhale, right foot in between your hands. Pivot your left heel down, inhale and rise, warrior one. Exhale, pivot open to our yoga sixth side, warrior two. Continue to hold your shoulders just over your hips. Inhale. Exhale, right forearm comes down to your thigh or to your block. Reach your left fingertips overhead. Take an inhale and rise. Sweep your right palm to the back wall. Find your long side body stretch. Exhale as you cartwheel your hands down to your mat. Block aside. Step your right foot back to meet your left and hips go up to the sky. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left toes reach up tall. Exhale, left foot in between your hands. Press your right heel down. Inhale and rise. Arms reach overhead, warrior one. Exhale, clasp long behind you. Take an inhale as you lift your heart. Exhale, start to hinge at your waist. Send your arms overhead, humble warrior. Release your clasp. Take an inhale as fingertips reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, pivot over towards our lobby side, warrior two. Inhale as you continue to extend your arms long away from each other. Exhale, left forearm comes down to your thigh or block. Right fingertips reach overhead and towards the front mirror. Inhale and rise. Sweep your left palm to that back wall as you take your side body stretch, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands back down to your mat. Step your block aside. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Hips reach up to the ceiling. Downward facing dog. Awesome job. We'll do a cleansing breath right here. Big inhale through your nose. And open mouth, sigh it out. Take an inhale, lift forward. Exhale, tiptoe your feet to your hands. And thank you all.